Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Thursday already. What a crazy week it's been. I wanted to take some time today to talk with you a little bit about making space for you and for your practice and just taking care of you, because so many times in life we have all these roles and responsibilities and things that we have to juggle and take care of on a day-to-day basis, and it's so easy to lose yourself in all of that. And some of the lessons that I've learned from being in the fitness industry for, 20 years, where I did make space for some things and I didn't make space for others. And one of the things that I found out from working out day after day after day was that I made commitment and I did the work and I got a lot of great results. When I was going to the gym every day, I built an amazing body, an amazing exterior physique, and I won a lot of competitions and I had a lot of accolades for that. I know a lot of you out there are interested in a fitness program and finding a way to get time to do that. But ironically, what I found out when I was doing all that was that I wasn't able to balance everything. And I think you're probably running into that too in your life. Some of you talked earlier about your roles and responsibilities that you have in life. I mean, we take on a lot of things, right? I mean, we're not just women or men, but we're moms and we're spouses and we're employees and we're all those things. We're so many things to so many people that when it comes to taking time for us, we don't tend to really find a way to make that happen. We're so busy plugging the holes and making sure the boat doesn't sink that we aren't always very good about that. So even back in the day when I did my figure and fitness competitions, I won those competitions, but I won them at a cost. And the cost was that I wasn't taking care of some of the other roles in my life that were really, really important at that time. So one of the tricks is, how do you take care of you, make that time for yourself, create that space for your own personal development without dropping all the other balls too? And that's what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today. So one of the biggest challenges that I ran into on a day-to-day basis was, like I said, I got to the gym, I worked out, I looked great, but my relationships were suffering dramatically because that was a priority for me. And at that time, from a physical perspective, there's only so much that you can do and do well. So you feel like you have to make choices, and often you become the last one on that list. So I just want to make sure that you understand that there's some other way to do this. You really don't have to sacrifice your roles and responsibilities in order to make time for yourself. As long as you're operating at a physical level and you're saying, I have only this much time and only this much energy, then yeah, you're going to run into some limitations as well. But the beautiful thing about that is you fundamentally are so much more than all those roles and responsibilities that you have. A big part about meditation and the value of meditation is that you start to understand that there is a powerful being inside of you. You're a child of God, regardless of what your religion or your belief system is. Most of us believe that there is a higher power out there, that at least there's a greater power in the universe that's running the show. And you are a product of that. You are that creation. And so as a result of that, you have an inner guru or a being deep inside of you that really is who you are. The rest of it is all things we've picked up along the way. Things somebody told us we needed to be, or roles that we thought we wanted to play. All of that are things that we've added on to that really strong, powerful inner being that we have inside of us. But if we're living on just the physical level and we're not tuning into that being, then it's kind of like being in a maze. If you can imagine, you're in a maze and you're running around and you're trying to find your way out. And it gets a little chaotic because you just can't quite see from a different perspective because you're on the ground, right? So the beautiful thing about bringing a meditation practice into your life is that what it does is it elevates your perspective. So you're able to find a way to tap into that resource that's deeper than that. That's above, it's above ground view of what's going on down there. So from that perspective, once you're up there, you start to see things a lot more clearly. You start to realize the decisions that you have to make, and you get a better perspective on life in general. You're so much better able to prioritize. So to give you a little of my story, I was, like I said, heavy into the fitness industry, working out like crazy, doing competitions, winning competitions, but nothing else was getting taken care of very well. And as a result, none of that was sustainable. I spent thousands of dollars on personal trainers and nutrition plans and all these things to create a body. And I walked back with some trophies. I mean, I got some trophies, I got some accolades, but for the thousands of dollars that I spent and the thousands of hours that I spent in the gym, I have to tell you today, I don't have a whole lot to show for it. So the beauty of a meditation practice, what this did to me, I basically hit rock bottom. I kept trying to sustain it. I kept trying to look great, train great, eat great, take care of my family, take care of my husband, take care of my job. And I hit rock bottom. I mean, basically went into a major depression. I was even suicidal at one point in my life and took myself to places that, as I build my story through this page, you'll better understand some of the places that I drove myself to from a physical level to try to get some sense of peace and some clarity about what I was supposed to be doing in my life. But the way that you create space is to take care of you first. I know it's a little cliche, but you do hear it all the time when you get on an airplane that before you can take care of anybody else, you have to put that oxygen mask on your own face. And you have to make sure that you're good. And you're only as good for somebody else as you are good, period. You can only bring your best self to any situation. So one of the things I want you to do is really think about that. Think about the fact that your challenge with taking care of you is not a challenge of time or money even. Your challenge is a challenge of commitment. You really could learn and grow and become so much better for yourself if you would be willing to just make that commitment. I didn't start doing that until probably 6 years ago. I never stopped moving. I was constantly on the go. In fact, every time I did stop, it was miserable. It was scary. All these thoughts and ideas and fears would come into my mind of, what should I be doing and shouldn't I be doing something? And I mean, we're in a culture that tells us that if you aren't doing something, you're not being productive. And I would challenge that because I can tell you in the past 6 years, since what I would call my awakening has happened, I have accomplished amazing things. I've grown so incredibly spiritually through my meditation practice. Literally thousands and thousands of hours later of meditation, and I'm so much more in tune with who I am and who I want to be. And ironically, I'm still working out, I'm still exercising, I'm still in pretty good shape. I probably wouldn't want to stand on stage, but I don't feel like I have to at this point. I'm learning how to eat better all the time. I'm intuitively listening to what foods resonate with me and what's going to be good for me at any given time. There's just no way to put a price tag on what it means to meditate and to really get outside of yourself, get above this physical perspective, and really get some wisdom from deep inside, because ultimately you're the one who knows what's best for you. So keep that in mind. Put you first. Make you a priority, because once you do that, your higher self, your inner guru, is going to direct you and make the space for the other things that you need. So now, when I get up in the morning, if I don't have time for both meditation and my workout, meditation wins every time. Because from there, I'll make better decisions during the day. I may not eat the things that I would have eaten that are off of my diet or healthy nutrition plan. I have a better sense of who I am and what I want to accomplish, and I'm bringing a better self out into the world. So you will ultimately find so much space and so much time for so many things if you get you right first. One of my favorite quotes, and it's the quote that you'll see on my Facebook page and you'll see it on the bottom of my emails if you email with me, is that the best gift that you can ever give anybody else is to work on yourself. So the key to making space for yourself is to make a commitment to do that and put it first. You make that decision. Nobody else has to make that for you. There's no reason why you have to be, you can't have 20 minutes to yourself every single day. And that's what I'm recommending to start out, is if you want to learn a meditation practice, the best thing for you to do starting out is just sit 15 to 20 minutes every morning. And you can be comfortable. You don't have to be in the mudra position and cross your legs and be all uncomfortable. Just separate yourself from all the physical chaos in this world. And everything outside of that door, create a space for yourself where you can just sit for 15 to 20 minutes a day and just be. Just be. And I promise you, you're going to get all kinds of distractions. You're going to get all kinds of things in the world pulling you away from that practice. That is not important. What you've got to do is focus on you. Focus on that. 15, 20 minutes, it's not that much time. But from there, you're going to see the benefit. You're going to see how much better you operate in the world and how much more fully you can step out and be true to yourself and be much more authentic in your day-to-day activities. So give yourself 10 to 15 to 20 minutes really is the best. 15 to 20 minutes to get started a day. I do it in the morning. For me, that's the best time. Some people do like to do it at night. If you do it at night, it tends to help you sleep better, as long as you're not too tired when you get started. But give that a shot and actually you'll find out that you do have time for everything that you think you can't get done. In fact, you'll have more time and you'll be more productive when you're doing those things. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm going to be sending you some more information across. One of the things I really want to talk about is understanding kind of how you got to where you are. We're going to be having a webinar coming up soon. We'll be talking about creating your own genogram. Because, again, I've said before, you are only a product of your life experiences and the things that have been taught to you from the day that you were born. Maybe some karmic and past life stuff going on there too, but primarily that's who you are. And in this world, at least on a physical and in mental level. So the first step to really getting to know this inner guru is to find out about all the stuff that's encased around it. So we're going to do a webinar on creating a genogram, which is essentially looking at your family tree, looking at the behaviors, not so much who is in your family, but what kinds of behaviors did you grow up seeing as normal? Because if you don't see it, you can't change it. Gurdjieff said that until you realize that you're in prison, no escape is possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a deep dive into how you became who you are in this world. And from that space, we're going to launch off into really finding out who the real inner guru is and what we need to do to really live our life purpose here. So start out, create some space, make it a priority, 15 to 20 minutes a day. Meditation, again, just sit comfortably, quietly, and just allow. Thoughts will come and go, let them go. Don't worry about them, don't try to stop them. Notice them. Notice how crazy our minds are and how much chaos goes on in these heads that drive us crazy every day. Give your mind a break and just let that stuff go. Try that, get started with that, and we'll talk a little bit more about the next step really soon. I hope this is helpful and have a wonderful day.